Is my beautiful boys and girls. Today we're making a what if Deku had a plant quirk. So, Inko Midoriya's quirk was called flower bed. Like if she had touched any flower or anything, it'd wrap around her body and heal her. Hisashi Midoriya's quirk, however, was something called plant breed, where he was able to make plants. He was able to make plants larger, bigger, and he was able to make them go on the ground and all this. He was basically able to control them. So Deku's quirk was called assimilating breed. Get it? Two combination between the quirk name. Okay. So he was deemed quirkless, and you get your quirk at 5. So when he was 7, he went to go play with some flowers nearby since he was being bullied all the time and all that. He just wanted to get away from it. But the flower actually had wrapped around him from the bullying. The flower had wrapped around him and healed the wounds that Kachan or Katsuki Bakugo had made. Deku would have ran over there and said, "Kachan, I do have a quirk." The daycare would have called Inko to make sure and Inko would have taken him to the quirk doctor. And I'm going to change the quirk name right now. It's called assimilating bloom instead of assimilating breed. But that makes it seem like a love quirk for some reason. But the doctor says, Ma'am, I can't believe we overlooked this. He has tiny plant and wooden cells in his body, which means he has a quirk. These flowers and wooden cells just didn't bloom yet, which means his quirk didn't bloom. Inko had covered her mouth and started to cry. So he does have a quirk? Yes, his quirk's name is assimilated breed. He can basically do anything with wood, plant, any type. But if he uses it for too long, he starts to get splinters and bruises up. Inko says, "Thank you so much." Deku would have trained while growing up. Bakugo would still bully him, but using his quirk, flowers would just wrap around him and heal him up. Deku would still be a softie, but if he did punch Bakugo once, since he's training and stuff, like at the age of 13, if you punch Bakugo once, Bakugo would have been pretty much knocked out. That's how hard he's been training. He's also been training his quirk to make larger things, shape his wood into things, make the healing faster, make his healing much stronger, make it having a defense technique while he's getting healed. He's been using his quirk like it's an everyday food thing. Just training it every day. After he'd go to school, he'd leave school, and he'd eat dinner and all that. Then he would go outside and start cleaning up the beach. One day, when All Might was about to go there with Lemillion to say, "If you want my quirk, you're gonna have to clean this whole beach." He went there with Lemillion, and they had a sight to see that this whole beach was clean. They maybe thought it was the cops, but they saw Deku had been using his plant hands to move the boxes around. Deku started to huff and puff, and his 2 plant little clones had dissolved. Deku had sat on top of the trash pile taking a rest, but then he made 2 more vine clones. These vines wrapped around until they formed into Deku, like clones. So they started moving boxes and all this. All Might had walked up to Deku and had said, "Young man, that's a very useful quirk you have there." Guys, if you want him to get offer 1, put it in the comments. And I'm going to say this now. If you don't use the comments and one person comments, then he's going to get offer 1 because that one person commented. So, yeah. But if you guys are like, no. But I'm not going to tell him that, but no. So you guys have to. If you want him to not, or who have it. So All Might didn't give him his card and be like, anytime you need me, just call me. Deku would have fanboyed the whole time, not even able to say anything, seeing that All Might just walked up to him. Oh yeah, guys, if you want to know what this is behind Deku, it's like plants and stuff. So, yeah. On this picture. Also, I do not own any of these pictures, if you've been wondering. And these are none of my pictures, and Deku's just going to be half his for this like the rest of the time. Actually, this looks super good. I don't know why I didn't do this the whole time. But Deku had then applied for UA. At the exams, he would have tied everybody's feet to the ground with some plants holding them. He would have made 3 clones and started to bash open the robots with just his clones. And when his clones were beaten, they would self-destruct and vibes would just grapple onto the robots. That's how they self-destruct. So that would make the robot, power down and all that. So Deku would have scored 88 points before all of the students finally escaped his vines, and Bakugo would have been like, that little fucking nerd. He would have just been angry. He made a large explosion which was intended not to hit any robots, but it hit 2 robots, and Bakugo just had got 13 points just from just getting mad. Deku sees this and he's like, oh, fuck. And then he starts to use his plants to propel himself. But he didn't use his plants to propel himself. So that Bakugo wouldn't have been able to, get to him. Bakugo is like, come here, Izuku! And Deku's just swinging like Spider-Man, just breaking all this stuff. And so this is what I don't do in many of my what ifs, but Uruk, the one pointer comes, and instead of Uraraka, listen guys, I just don't like this shit, bro. He would be much better with Kendo or anybody. He sees Kendo get hurt. I don't know why. Just maybe it's Kendo I'm always choosing because she thick. Maybe one time I'll get hit Momo Yaruzo. But for now, it's Kendo again. Kendo gets captured. Oh, and if you guys don't know who Kendo is, maybe next of this, I'll show you who Kendo is, and then I'll start the video. So, yeah. But, because she's beautiful. But, he sees Kendo get captured, and he actually roots up. Deku had then slapped it and was like, Deku had then wrapped his biggest wood and biggest plants around it, destroying its eye. This actually had ended the test, and the one pointer was dead. As Kendo was falling, Midori caught her, and Kendo would have looked up, only to notice that his hand was right by her skirt, and that he had probably seen something. She began to turn bright pink, and Ochiko did not like this. Ochiko made, or if you guys don't know who Ochiko is, Uraraka had made Kendo her rival. And this is where we're going to end it. Bye, guys.